Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. This is the kind of move that gets NFL fans talking, especially Packers fans, because it could be a game changer for the upcoming season. The Green Bay Packers, sitting at 5-3 with an $11 million cap space, have just made a bold move that could reshape their defensive front and significantly boost their Super Bowl chances. And believe me, this isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about redefining what the Packers can do on defense and how they can contend against the best of the best this year. The big news is that the Packers have traded for Myles Garrett, the star defensive end from the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you heard that right, Garrett, a guy who has been an All-Pro from 2020 through 2024, a top 100 player projected at number 7 for 2025, and someone who has consistently been a nightmare for quarterbacks, is now donning the green and gold. The Packers traded a conditional first-round pick in the 2026 draft to Cleveland for Garrett, and this move immediately sends shockwaves across the league. Cleveland, struggling at 1-7 and with some cap space freed up from releasing players like their offensive line, decided to ship out Garrett, a move that surprised many but also makes sense for them in a rebuilding phase, especially given their cap situation and the struggles they've faced this season. What makes Garrett such a coveted player? Well, this is a guy who's accumulated over 300 tackles in his career with an astonishing 88, 5 sacks and more than 128 quarterback hits. His versatility is what makes him truly special. Garrett can stunt, rush from different angles, and consistently generate pressure, averaging around 12 pressures per game in recent seasons, which eclipses many other top pass rushers. His ability to disrupt plays, pressure quarterbacks, and create turnovers has made him one of the most feared defensive linemen in the league. Even with some injuries in 2025, like the shoulder injury he suffered in Week 4, he's managed to play 7 out of 8 games, proving his resilience and commitment. Now, this move isn't just about adding another player to the roster. It's about transforming the entire defensive front. The Packers, who already had a solid line with players like Kenny Clark, have now added a true game wrecker who can elevate their pass rush to elite levels. When you combine Garrett with Preston Smith and others, the potential sack total for the team could climb to over 25 sacks, a significant jump that could make them one of the top pass rushing units in the league. This is exactly what the Packers need if they want to compete deep into the playoffs and challenge teams like the 49ers, Eagles, or even the Cowboys. But let's not forget about the bigger picture here. Cleveland, by trading Garrett, is looking to rebuild their roster and clear cap space. They can free up around $23 million, which they'll likely use to improve their offensive line or other areas of need. Cleveland is currently sitting with odds of plus 150,000 to win the Super Bowl, which reflects their rebuilding mindset. For the Browns, trading Garrett was a strategic move to accumulate draft picks and set themselves up for future success, even if it means parting ways with one of their top players. For the Packers, this trade is a statement. It signals that they are serious about competing now, not just in the short term but for the next few seasons. The addition of Garrett, combined with what they already have, could push their sack rankings into the top 10, putting them in the same league as some of the dominant defenses in the league. Think Watt's Steelers or the top-tier defenses that control the trenches. This kind of trench control is what often makes the difference in close games, especially in the playoffs, where every sack, pressure, and disruption counts. And speaking of impact, the numbers are pretty clear. If you look at the projected sack totals with Garrett on the team, the combination of Garrett and Preston Smith could bring the sack total to over 25, which is huge for a team that wants to be a playoff contender. Plus, this infusion of pressure could also lead to more turnovers, as quarterbacks get hurried into mistakes. The secondary with more coverage time will have a chance to tighten up and create more turnovers, perhaps 5 or more in the coming games, which can change the course of a season. Now, let's talk about the historical context. Garrett's impact on the Browns this season has been noticeable, even with some injuries. His 2023 boost in pressures, about 100 more than last year, shows how much he's still a game changer. For the Packers, acquiring a player of his caliber doesn't just mean adding talent. It's about elevating the entire defense to a level where they can dominate the line of scrimmage, control the tempo of the game, and frustrate even the most potent offenses. Imagine Garrett lining up against opponents, tackles week after week, disrupting their game plans, and helping the Packers climb the rankings into the elite tier. And let's not forget the Super Bowl implications. The odds for the Packers to win the Super Bowl have shifted significantly, from plus 1,200 to plus 650, because of this move. It's a clear sign that Vegas and the betting community see this as a real shot for Green Bay to contend deep into February. Especially when you add the fact that they're now a real threat in the trenches, with a pass rush that can match anyone in the league. The key for the Packers is to keep this momentum, stay healthy, and harness the energy that a move like this can bring. Now, for the Browns, the rebuild is ongoing. They're betting on the future, accumulating draft capital and trying to build a more balanced roster. But for the Packers, this is about going all in. It's about showing that they're serious contenders, that they're ready to push for another Super Bowl, and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. The addition of Garrett could be the X factor that pushes them over the edge, especially considering the defensive dominance he can bring. In the broader picture, this trade also speaks to the strategic mindset of both teams. Cleveland, with their cap space and rebuilding approach, is leveraging this move to set themselves up for the future. Meanwhile, Green Bay, under their current leadership, is making a statement that they believe in winning now. It's a classic example of how NFL teams are always looking for that edge, that game-changing player that can tilt the balance of power in their favor. So as we look ahead to the rest of the season, keep an eye on how Garrett's integration into the Packers' defense unfolds. His presence alone can energize the entire unit, raise their sack total, and help them challenge the NFC's best. It's a move that fans should be excited about, because it could be the spark that propels Green Bay into serious Super Bowl contention. A move that, if it pays off, will be remembered for years to come. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this bold trade? Are you excited about Garrett's arrival? Do you believe it's enough to push the Packers over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.